Daily Broadside day 924. Yesterday I reposted a couple videos from 2023 this time about my buddy's trip to see Corey Feldman, 3 hours away from where I live. And he garnered almost, I think we're sitting almost 20,000 views, which is kind of weird because it didn't do that the first time. But at any rate, I don't know why Corey Feldman's spun up in the algorithm currently, but it is what it is. But you know, the comments, they're very funny. You know, you got half people are like, oh, that's awesome, that's a great story, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, you're like, oh, thank you, I appreciate you. You know, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad it got your mind off of something else for, you know, a few minutes in your day and whatnot. And that's really the point of this app, isn't it? It's just, you know, to enjoy yourself, just to have some fun and have a whimsical view into whatever intriguing thing that comes your way and strikes your fancy, right? But then you got people that are like, you know, a smaller percentage, fortunately, are just like, why would you spend money on that? Why would you do that? I'd rather eat dog crap in prison than... And it's like, who cares? A, why I do what I do. But B, because I'm about life experience. Like, I do some of the dumbest stuff just for the experience. And that may make no sense to anybody. But, like, I just can't, like, roll through life just doing the same old humdrum, doldrum and melancholy crap that everybody, you know, wants you to do. You know, like, there's this, like, facsimile of human life in America that, like, everybody has to do the same stuff to be happy and all, you know, the whole picket fence, 2.5 kids, you know, a SUV, and like, I'm simplifying it, of course, but like, I like experiences. I like the fact that when my buddies and I are together and that comes up, we still laugh to this day about how idiotic it was. And it was a fascinating thing to see. And I can't, words don't justify exactly what happened until you see it. And when you see it, and anybody who's out there that's seen that dude live play music, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't put your finger on it, but when you see it, it's you're like, oh, I get it now. It's just one of them things. But hey, you go through life hating. I mean, I had people in there like, them tattoos ain't working for you in your 50s. Like, dude, I've long since stopped caring about what other people think of me and, you know, what I'm out to do to impress other people. Like, you should stop impressing people sometime in your mid-30s, you know what I mean? And just roll on with what you want to do in life. Make yourself happy and treat other people well. And don't hurt anybody, don't damage anybody's property, but do what you want in life. I mean, that's kind of the mantra that you should be living through. You know, the fact that I would let anybody, you know, and you could argue, oh, you're talking about them now, so they must have gotten... No, I'm just addressing the fact that there's dumb people out there. People just love to hate, you know, it's crazy. And I love to hate. I mean, it's a natural, like, inclination, you know what I mean? But more to the point, on to better things. I learned yesterday that... Well, I broke up with my girlfriend yesterday. Me and Nikki Glazer are no longer together. It was bad, but I broke it off. We had to do things. I got to go in a different way because I found out that Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman are getting divorced. So I got to make room in my, you know, in my calendar for her because, I mean, she's put some age on, and you know, we all look a lot worse than we did 20 years ago. You know, we're going down a slide, not up a hill, you know, whatever you want to call it. But I will say, if she's anything close to what she looked like in Eyes Wide Shut, I'll miss Nikki, but it was the right move. You know what I'm saying? And I've been on Himalaya Everest talk for the last 24 hours because I saw a video of, it sounded like a girl, but it might have been a guy. I don't know. I mean, when you're harrowingly, if that's a word, sliding down the sheer face of an ice cap to your untimely demise, you know, you probably sound like a girl even if you are a guy, but had that goofy laugh, that, you know, when he falls down a canyon. That wasn't it, but you know what I'm talking about. But because I watched that video, and everybody's just standing there like, yeah, there she goes, or P, whatever. And now I'm back on Everest Talk. And I've been on Everest Talk before, you know. There's 200, you know, deceased persons still up on the mountain that you pass. And it's kind of weird, you know, if you think about it. I mean, if you went down to the Grand Canyon and there were just bodies strewn across the canyon, you know, paths and stuff, I don't think we'd be cool with that. I mean, mostly because they would, you know, rot and stink and all that. But, you know, on Everest, everything just stays a chill to monkey brains. You know, everything stays cold. So there's that. But I feel like we're doing a disservice. I've seen these Sherpas carry what looks like a piano on their back, and they're telling me they can't put a 140-pound dude with a bunch of REI gear on them, you know? I mean, at least strip their boots. Those boots have got to cost like $600. People just walking by them, I'd grab some gloves or something. Now, I wouldn't do this like after a few days, but when they're freshly deceased, you know, you can swipe a little a scarf or something, you know, just an extra bundle, you know, because it's got to be one of those things where you're like, man, 70 below. I've been in 30 something below with the wind chill, not actual temperature, where I went to college. And it is a riveting experience if you've never let that hit your face. But 70 below, good Lord. I mean, and you're 70 below and you've spent $9,000 on all this Arctic gear and all, you probably still be like, I could use one more scarf, you know. So I'm just saying, like, take their stuff, you know. And it's so eerie what the wind and the sun does to a human body when it's not decomposed. And it's just, you know, the light just, it's cool. But what I'm getting at is, I feel like I think we're selling ourselves short by not getting these people off here. So, two things. I've never flown a helicopter. I've never flown one in the mountains, especially one as tall as the Himalayas. But I feel like we could get a rope long enough to fly above whatever storms or things that stop you from flying, and then just attach it and just drag them off. Or just push them, you know, just chisel them out of the ice and just push them off the mountain and let them get down to you know, somewhere else, a base camp or something. I don't know, man. But the other thing is the recycling. Like, there is so much ridiculous amount of trash. It's like the southern border, you know. It's just strewn with trash, just everywhere. Like, if you've never seen it before, you wouldn't understand it. But all those bottles of oxygen and cooking fuel and everything like that, all we gotta do is send a few meth heads up to, you know, Nepal, and they'd transform all that. They'd be sorting metal like crazy and hauling that stuff back to a scrap place, you know, and we could clean that stuff up. But, you know, there's like 400 people a year ascend the mountaintop because there's only like a 2-month window, so you can only fit so many people up there because they're just, you know, elephants in a line. I mean, you just spend like 8 seconds up there. It's like a bull ride, you know. But and it costs like $20, $30, $50, $60,000 to do it. So it's really just become it's really kind of dumb if you think about it. And the views don't even look that spectacular. Like, I bet you I could take you to another mountain that's not as high, but put you on the peak of that and you'd be like, oh, yeah, this is a cool view on top of the world. Yeah, right. And you'd feel just as good. I mean, how much taller is Himalaya than, I don't know, Denali or Kilimanjaro or Mount Mitchell? I don't know. I think they renamed Mount Mitchell, but it's coming back. I don't remember. But all I'm saying is we had to clear all the bodies off the mountain. It's just distracting from people trying not to die. At any rate, giddy up. Y'all have a good one.